How would your life be different if you solely did what made you happy for a living and you didn't put money in that equation? Well, watch on Geeks Are Sexy. That's what we're going to talk about on today's show. Welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm your host, Michelle Roxy Davis, also known as the Social Media MD. Get more information about social media at thesocialmediamd.com. Geeks Are Sexy is brought to you by Platinum Physique, professional bodybuilding and fitness training at its best with Michael Haley. That's right. Go to platinumphysiques.com. So today on the show, I'm going to talk about people going the extra mile when it comes to helping people out, not only in work, but in their personal life as well. And I have two personal trainers here that you just might want to think about when it comes to joining the Platinum Physiques team. I have here owner of Platinum Physiques, Michael Haley.
Hello.
And personal trainer, Casey Lomax.
Hi.
Also known as the Swomax. All right. So what we're talking about today is going out of the way and going the extra mile for people when it comes to work and when it doesn't come with money being in that equation. So, Michael, tell me, how has personal training helped change your life when it comes to helping other people?
Gosh, originally when I started doing my personal training, I was focused just on the fitness portion of personal training. And as I started doing more and more years in the business, I noticed that people were, really needed to have a support system. And the fitness part of it was great, but with the support system, and they were flourishing. And so a while back, I hired a business coach. His name's Rob Vitale. It's robvitale.com, an amazing fitness coach, for my business. And he said to me, Michael, your heart is big for the people that you work with. And, the reason why you're so successful is because you really, really care about each individual. And I started to think, money's great, but I really was focused on each individual client. And I was focused on their success more than I was worried about the money.
Right.
And when I really started to concentrate more on the client and making sure that they had everything that they needed, they had the physical support, they had the emotional support, and they had all the tools to get in shape.
Right.
That's when things just flourished even more. And that's where my heart was in the beginning, but I just wasn't sure exactly how to do it. And now I'm really focused on that for my clients, and
That's
I love
awesome.
it. I love what I do for a living because of that.
And you've helped your clients for decades, but now you have some trainers that you're really inspiring to broaden your business and strengthen that as well.
Yes.
Casey being one of them.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. I got really big about a year and a half ago to the point where I was so overwhelmed I couldn't, I'd have new people that wanted to join. I couldn't help them. And so I was kind of sad about that because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I can help this person so much, but I just don't have the ability to do it. So at that time, I started to really focus on getting really super good people. I've got 5 trainers that I work with, but each one of them are, they've got a good heart, and I really look for that. I can teach them how to do personal training. Some of them are really good. He's a great trainer right from the very beginning. Already even before he met me, he had clientele and he was doing well. But after speaking with him and spending a little time with Casey, I realized that he's got a heart like mine. He really, really wants the success of his clients. He's really got this big heart. And then, I started to, a year and a half ago, just grab people like that so that they could just help many more people. My business coach said, Michael, you can help thousands of people, but you have to reach out and get help to do that.
Right. I was actually listening to Robert Vitale's webinar last week. He was giving you a shout out as well. So big shout out to Robert Vitelli. Go to robertvitelli.com. He's helping you publish your book. He's helping you revamp your website, your whole model of your business.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to money not being involved, how do you go the extra mile for yourself to help your clients?
You know, you sometimes, you set your goals, and your goals are, okay, originally when I used to set my goals, they were more about the cash, how much money can I make? Well, what Robert taught me and where my focus is now is I'm just focused on how many people can I help.
Right.
It's fulfilling for me. The answer is the more help and the more that I see someone get not only in shape but mentally and emotionally, and their change of their confidence and those kind of things, this drives me to just want to help more people.
Right.
And so for myself, I have to work out real hard for me, and I have to keep myself in shape, and I have to do all those things that I teach all of you.
Right.
But the focus is, in my drive, my biggest drive is just the satisfaction of seeing the people flourish in fitness, but in life as well.
Yep. You recently just got married, was on your honeymoon.
Yes.
And you had a great time, and Casey was actually training several of your clients while you were gone. I was actually one of them, and Leah Vendetta was another, and Layla was another one. And so, Casey, you have now become part of the Platinum Physique family.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Thank God, and a lot of prayer.
And I initially met you at LVAC, and you have several sponsors you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, one of my athlete for Project Fit Nation, a good, awesome, positive local company. That's what I love. I love helping local businesses. So got them, Gallon Gear, Mad Macro. Yeah.
Awesome. So how did you find Michael?
Well, I found Michael because I started working at LVAC, and I'm a student of the game. In whatever profession I am, I'm OCD. So I was watching all the trainers. What do they do? How do they train? How many clients do they have? What are they doing to be successful? And then obviously you can narrow it down right away after a few weeks of seeing trainer after every day. What ones are the successful ones?
Right.
And then I made the decision to compete, and then that's where like my knowledge as a trainer and dietitian or whatever just fall off. I don't know anything about competing. So I knew I needed to reach out for a coach. And then I had talked to a few trainers, and it seems like everyone I talked to, every trainer, wanted me to buy right then. Okay, well, pay me this much and I'll coach you. I'll do your prep and this and that. I talked to Michael 5 times. He never once tried to sell me, never once said hire me. And what more importantly impressed me more was that this is a real competitive business. And a lot of trainers will, I'll say it like nicely, they'll talk bad about other trainers. Michael never once put down another trainer, and that made me believe he knows, he's confident in his own, the method, and that means I will never question it.
So it's obvious that he talked to you several times without even talking about money being in the equation.
Right. Yep. And that's when I knew there's nobody else. I mean, I instant trust right there. After he wasn't just there to sell me, wasn't just there to get money from me. He was truly trying to help me, and that's when I knew that I found the one guy I wanted.
And one of the unique stories that I wanted to kind of bring out when Casey was training me was he was talking about his life story, how he used to be a welder. He was traveling 6 months out of the year. He was away from his family, but you made 6 figures, and at the same time you weren't happy. How did you turn that around and find something that you could feel satisfied?
Well, I did that lifestyle for about 10 years, and those are the toughest, hardworking group of individuals there is. I was part of a union local 798 pipeliners. I mean, they work 610s minimum, and it's real actual labor. So I feel like I was groomed, for hard work. I know what hard work really is. And then like this is kind of like, I mean, it's just my passion, so it's not work. But
you love what you do.
Yeah. So for the say that 10 years, it's because like reality sets in, and you have bills, you have stuff to pay for, and you have to that's where most people kind of go, to where they have to just do jobs they don't really like, and then without even realizing it, for the most part they'll be it's called spiritual suicide, and you're really like killing yourself inside, and you might not even know it. And then it affects other things. I'll be honest, and I got addicted to gambling. I suffered from depression, and then I went through divorces, and then once I realized like enough's enough, I have to make a change. And I knew I'm not an artist, but I love sculpting or artistry or something. I have to create.
Your imagination.
I have to create. I have to use my imagination. And then so I had the passion of training. And at first I was just going to do it like on my off months when I wasn't welding. And then I learned very quickly that was never going to work. You have to commit to something, otherwise you'll just fall back and you'll, waste the time and the money and all that of studying and all that. So I just made the decision to get out of that business, welding, and come over into training. And I get to do training now. I get to do my video work that I love. I love video work and stuff.
You're a social media geek?
Yeah, very much. I'm always posting. You'll see pictures. I just took one before we started this.
And before you became a personal trainer, you were unhealthy. Your body wasn't healthy. We actually have a picture, Scott, if you can show us the picture of the before and after. This was the picture on the left. Well, you can explain it for us. Scott, can we see the picture, please?
Oh, yeah.
So the picture on the left.
So the one in the hat, I'm out of shape, obviously. I didn't know much about working out besides old football stuff, or whatever from high school. Well, they don't really teach you anything how to stay healthy, and that's probably when the depression, that's what really hit that. I was like over 200 pounds. I've never weighed over like 150 in my life. I've always been pretty tiny.
So the one on the right, is that when you became a trainer?
That's when I became a trainer and made a commitment and changed the lifestyle, learned how to eat properly and clean eat and stuff like that. And then I just committed myself for about 3-4 months to just strict diet. 100%. And then got down to that.
So the before and after picture we're going to show you, picture number 2 is after you started training with Michael. So let's show that picture. And so can you tell us more about the before picture on top?
So the before picture is like diet. That's when I didn't have any inclination of competing or anything like that. I thought I was just going to try to be healthy and eat clean for the rest of my life. Then the more I got into the training business, I was like, well, I want to compete. Well, the only way you can do that is you got to get bigger. That way when you're on stage, you have to be, ripped up. Well, the only way to do that is you have to get bigger. So through eating more, the first time I met with Michael, I thought I was eating enough. I wasn't eating nowhere near enough. So he taught me. I didn't know anything about coconut oil, none of that good stuff. And then we've made a pretty significant jump in about a year there. So
it's awesome.
This was good.
So within that time, Michael has taught you to be a better trainer, to be healthier with your eating habits, and now with you training in November, it's amazing how big he's going to get.
Oh yeah. We're looking at doing a show in November, a competition, his first competition in November. And when you have somebody, like Casey's tall, and you have to fill in those, those long limbs like what I have. And so basically we spend, a good 6 months or 9 months or a year, depending on how long we have, and we get him as big as we possibly can. And then I need about anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks to take him down to somewhere around, I'm going to bring him in about 5 to 6% body fat. But then he'll have the size that he needs to be able to get that lean and look great on stage. So that's our goal.
Awesome. So, Casey, any guys out there that are interested in maybe getting back into the gym, changing their lifestyle, doing something healthier for themselves? You obviously have the story to prove it. Can you give any words of advice for anyone watching out there?
Definitely, that you're not alone. I thought I would shut myself in the room, throw on the Xbox, and lock myself away for hours. And just because I thought I was alone. And you're not alone. There's always time to change, and that goes for anyone, man, woman, you divorced, you're married, anyone. So it's just a matter of realizing you're not alone. You can always reach out to me. I don't care if I don't know you or anything.
Social media?
Social media, you can search me, Casey Lomax, Instagram's Swomax. YouTube channel, just message me. I got no problem talking to anyone. If you have an issue, I started gambling when I was 15 in casinos. So if you have a gambling issue, reach out. Trust me, I can help you with that. Maybe we can find a new positive path to get you away from that. Just anything. I'm always here to talk to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are.
That's awesome. And so how has your lifestyle changed now that you're not working so strenuously? And you're doing what you love and you're helping people, and Michael has changed your outlook on so many things. How is that different for you now?
Oh, it's night and day. I mean, now that I get to do what I love, and I still work long hours because I'm up late, but it's more of what I love. It doesn't feel like work. It's really fulfilling that you get to actually work and help people in the flesh. And whenever you're doing a job just for the money, you don't get that fulfillment, and it's very, very frustrating. And now that that's gone, I feel like I can do so much more with my life, and instead of just wasting it week by week working for a paycheck.
That's true. We got to give a shout out to everyone on the team.
Oh, absolutely.
I worked out with Layla today. Well, she was out doing her own thing because she's going to be competing in April.
Yes.
And Hallie, girl, you did great on the guns. Leah Vendetta, and I saw Liz, and I saw Annie, and I saw Pam today.
Carla,
Yeah.
Pam. Yeah.
And Joanne, I worked out with her. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the team's amazing, and we're very blessed with this team. One of the things that we're just talking about today, and I hadn't even told you about this, but I want to, we're gonna start a support team or
Yay.
a support group to get the ladies together, and even some of the guys on the side, and have all the ladies meet together and talk, and just spend 2 hours once a month, and just get off their chest what they need to get off their chest. There's a lot of my clients that come from certain backgrounds of abuse or addiction or different things, and I have my new gals and guys that are having the similar issues that these other ones have conquered, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to put this together, and I got to get everybody together talking, because that support, like we were talking about, is massive, and so I want to start this kind of a thing to get these teams of people, because from what I know a lot of teams that are out there, nobody's doing anything like that, where they're giving that kind of support.
Yeah.
And I think
Going
it's
the extra mile.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So PlatinumPhysiques.com, go check them out. I hope that you can sign and be a part of the family. You don't have to live in Las Vegas. You can actually train people over the internet.
Absolutely. I've put together the videos and the workout programs and the food programs, and everything that I can do hands-on I now have on video, so you can learn all those things on video.
It's awesome. I love it. So Casey, what'd you think of WCOBM?
Oh, it's great. I hope to be back.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Geeks Are Sexy.